Hello everybody and welcome to Noob-Splaining. My name is Wolf. Now if you're new around these parts, this is where I explain the crazy, over-the-top world of Warhammer 40k that nerds like me love so much. Specifically, I'm wanting to get people who know little or nothing about 40k into the hobby, and if you do know about 40k, then I'm here to help you laugh at the absurdity of it all. So before we go any further, don't forget to like, subscribe, and if you enjoy the content, please consider buying me a coffee. It helps to keep me getting the content out to you. Thank you. Right, so let's get on with this video, shall we? So for this video, just recently I've seen quite a few memes about when the boss music kicks in or when the Doom music starts, and I got to myself thinking, what if each of the Primarchs had their own boss music? More specifically, how much fun can I poke at each Primarch by giving them their own boss music? So, in Legion order, let's have a look at them. Now, before we go any further, there will not be any of the audio clips in this because YouTube, doesn't really like using copyrighted music. Well, let's start at the beginning. The first Legion, the Dark Angels, and their Primarch, Lionel Johnson. Now, for those of you who've been around my videos before, you'll know I'm a bit of a simp for the Dark Angels, especially Lion himself. So originally, I was going to give him the boss music of Tina Turner, Simply the Best, but I realised that's just me simping for Lion. So, with his new ability to forest walk, I thought it'd be more hilarious to give the Lion his boss music of Baltimora, Tarzan Boy. Now, the second Legion have been purged and are known as the Forgotten. So, there's only one choice for this. He's got to be goatee, somebody that I used to know. Next we have the Empress Children and their Primarch Fulgrim, who is known for his perfectionism. He was a bit of a pretty boy as well. So, this is an obvious one for me. It's got to be Culture Beat Mr. Vane. Number 4 we have the Iron Warriors and their Primarch Perturabo, who was best known for his cold logic and high skills in maths. He was very detached from the people of Olympia where he grew up on. So for this, I'm going to give his boss music as MOP, Cold as Ice. Next, it's the 5th Legion, the White Scars, and their Primarch Jagatai Khan, who, although modelled after Genghis Khan, him and his Legion love their speed. Basically, anything with 2 wheels that can get you a speeding ticket, they're all over. So it's going to have to be Meatloaf, Bat Out of Hell. Moving on to the 6th Legion, again one of my personal favourites, the Space Wolves, and their Primarch Layman Russ. Now instinctively, because of Layman's attitude and behaviour and the fact that some of his sons just do turn into werewolves, I was going to go Def Leppard Animal, but at the last minute I changed my mind because the Space Wolves don't give a shit what you think about them, so I've gone for Icona Pop. I don't care, I love it. Legion 7 is the Imperial Fist and their Primarch Rogel Dawn, specifically known as the Defenders of the Imperium. Although they're called the Imperial Fist, the Imperial Shield would be more accurate. Dawn himself had a very stoic, statuesque presence, yet when he lost he certainly could kick ass. However, but another part of Rogel is the part that made me select his boss music. He 100% without a doubt believes in the Emperor's plan, and for that I'm giving him his boss music of Monkeys, I'm a Believer. Next on our list is the Night Lords, the 8th Legion, and their Primarch Conrad K was known as the Night Haunter. He's often described as Batman on PCP. His Legion love skulking around in the shadows and attacking at night. He also had the ability to see into the future, but he also let himself get killed by a human assassin because he was bored. He did recruit a lot of his Legion from penal colonies, which, you can imagine, that didn't go down so well. Take a criminal, turn him into a space marine, and expect them to stop being a criminal, which is why I've chose for Conrad K's boss music, Radiohead, Creep. Next we have Legion number 9, the famed Blood Angels, and their beloved Primarch Sanguinius. Again, those who are regular around here will know he's not one of my favourite Primarchs, but I do have a lot of respect for him. Now the main thing about Sanguinius was he loved the arts, he loved his sons, he was very emphatic, he brought the party to life just by walking in through the door. And he also had a massive pair of wings. So the obvious one here is Robbie Williams and Angels, but I think that's a bit too obvious. Let me put my thinking cap on. The other thing about Sanguinius is obviously he's a space vampire, so the theme song from Twilight would be a good option, but no, I think I've found it. Because of the empathy he feels for his sons and his brothers and just the Imperium in general, it's got to be Shaka Khan, I feel for you. The 10th Legion is the Iron Hands, and their Primarch Ferris Manus, well known for the fact that he had, well, iron hands. Ferris was a master weaponsmith and produced many weapons that several of the other Primarchs would use over the years. The easy and obvious choice for this one is Sabaton Iron Heart. But he didn't have an iron heart, he had iron hands. What he did do to get his iron hands was drown a creature of living metal in lava. So because of that, for his boss music, I'm going to have to choose, and I can't believe I actually know this song, Backstreet Boys' Drowning. And please, I'd love you all to speculate in the comments how I know that song. So, the 11th Legion is also another of the Unknown Legion. Officially, the records are lost or destroyed, but their Primarch, if the rumours are true, is currently locked in a cell somewhere deep beneath the Emperor's palace, in which case, there's only one song for him. Queen, I want to break free. Legion number 12, the World Eaters, and their extremely angry Primarch, Angron. A man so angry, he makes the Hulk look well adjusted. Now, again, the low-hanging fruit for this one was Def Leppard Animal. But when you think about Angron, he really was just a truly honourable man that had the butcher's nails forced upon him that turned him into the psycho killer he is. So I think the best choice for Angron, although not the funniest, would be Edwin Starr and War. What is it good for? The 13th Legion, the Ultramarines, and their famous Primarch, Rabute Gilliman, best known as Papa Smurf, and the entire Legion themselves are known for their amazing abilities at logistics, timetables, and making up theoreticals and practicals. So what better option for Rabute Gilliman than Weird Al Yankovic, white and nerdy? The 14th Legion are the Death Guard, and their Primarch Mortarion, who represents basically death. He's tall, very lithe, and carries a giant massive scythe. He also likes drinking poisons, so it's obvious. Go on, put it in the comments, see if you can beat me to it. Alice Cooper, poison. The 15th Legion, the Thousand Sons, are led by their Primarch, Magnus the Red, who is a massive psyker. What did you think I was going to say? That he's a massive... Well, he's that as well. Magnus did nothing wrong. Fuck off, he did everything wrong. Anyway, Magnus is very good at psychic powers. So, second time this band gets an appearance on here, it's going to be Queen, It's a Kind of Magic. The 16th Legion, originally the Lunar Wolves, then becoming the Sons of Horus, and eventually the Black Legion, but led at the time by Horus Lupercal, the arch traitor himself, the man who fell so hard to chaos. He was the reason that Sanguinius is no longer about, and Emperor Chris is now stuck in a chair, just like a certain other Chris. Oh no, that was because of a horse, not a Horus. Thanks, Victor, I'm never going to get that joke out of my head. Anyway, what do we go for Horus? Now this Horus one is quite a difficult one. The only reason he fell to chaos is he felt that the Emperor had betrayed him massively, and once chaos had got their teeth in, they dragged him down and down and down, but at the end he did relent, kind of, depending which version you read. He did feel some sorrow about killing Sanguinius, briefly, so because he felt so betrayed by the Emperor. So initially I was going to go for Evanescence, Fallen, but when you think about it, he really did feel betrayed by the Emperor, so in which case I'm going to have to go for Aemon. Fuck it, I don't want you back. The 17th Legion, the Word Bearers, led by Lorgar, and arguably the reason the entire Horus heresy happened, because Lorgar loved the Emperor. He loved him like a god, and when the Emperor turned on him, he turned to the four Chaos Gods. Ironically enough, Lorgar was the first of the Primarchs to receive the gifts of all four Chaos Gods, but he was kind of like the alpha test. So they give him a little bit of power, but not much. And it turns out, even with the gifts from all four Chaos Gods, he was still a bit of a bitch, compared to the other Primarchs. But his thing was, He wanted somebody to worship, so it's gotta be Boogie Pimps, somebody to love. So the 18th Legion, the Salamanders, are known for their capacity to feel for humanity. Their Space Marines, when not on duty, are actively encouraged to get involved with the community. Literally, you will see a Space Marine without his armour stood behind a tombola section at the local village fair. What the Salamanders are really known for is giving out hugs, loves, and making sure that humanity is prospering. Seriously, if you run a scout group on a Salamander's planet, you can guarantee that one of the Salamanders will turn up and teach those kids how to tie knots with the intestines of an orc, and the poor orc will probably be alive at the start of the demonstration. Don't get me wrong, they love humanity to pieces, but they hate everything else, with war-crime levels of weaponry. And because their other shtick is also fire-based weapons, then it's going to have to be Johnny Cash, Ring of Fire. And the penultimate legion on our list, the 19th Legion, the Raven Guard, and their Primarch, Corax. The Raven Guard are best known for their hit-and-run tactics. They believe it is best to strike, fade away, and strike again. Very much a guerrilla style of warfare, to the point where they have adopted power armour that is damn near silent. Their ships rely more on stealth than void shields, and all in all, they have a bit of an emo edgy shtick. The one thing Corax can do, and some of his legionaries, is they have this ability to make them almost invisible. So for that reason alone, I'm choosing John Cena's WWE entrance music. You can't see me. And finally, in our Legion list, we have the Alpha Legion, with their twin Primarchs, Ferris and Omegon. Now, Ferris, everybody knows about. Omegon is a big in-universe secret that nobody knows about, except us, the audience. So they constantly switch places, and to top it off, their first captain will also pretend to be Ferris or Omegon. And when it's a Marine's birthday, he gets to pretend he's Ferris for the day, which is where all the memes come from, that I am Ferris, I am Ferris, I'm Ferris. So because they're twins, something like it's just me and you would be obvious, but considering they keep changing places constantly, I thought I'd throw a curveball in this one and go for Shaggy. It wasn't me, because it was Omegon, or Ferris, maybe the first captain, or maybe one of the Marines. Either way, it wasn't me. And there we have it, folks. I hope you enjoyed that. Just a little bit of a filler video in between my normal content, but it was something that popped into my head, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to have to do this as a video. What I want now is your suggestions in the comments on what would be each Primarch's boss music. Better still, if you can think of any other characters in 40k that should have a boss music, again, put that in the comments. And let's get it rolling. Let's see how much we can take the mick out of 40k characters with just mainstream songs. In the meantime, the algorithm likes me to say this. I don't like saying it. Like, subscribe, comment, yada 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 yada. But in all honesty, what I do need of you folks is more views. So, share this video and all my other videos with somebody that you think could do with some noob-splaining in their life. Until then, take care, folks. See you next time.